In the summer of 2008, a 2-year-old girl named Caylee Anthony disappeared in Orlando, Florida. But what shocked the nation? It wasn't just that she was missing. It was that her own mother, Caylee Anthony, she waited 31 days before reporting it. What followed was a case filled with lies, shocking evidence, and a verdict that divided the entire country. Caylee Anthony lived with her parents, George and Cindy Anthony, and her daughter Caylee in a suburban neighborhood. On the surface, they appeared to be a typical American family. Everything seemed normal. Caylee was described as a happy, energetic toddler who was deeply loved by her grandparents. Casey, however, she had a history of lying. Friends later revealed that she often fabricated stories about her job, her lifestyle, and even people in her life. But despite this, nothing initially suggested the tragedy that would unfold. Caylee was last seen in mid June 2008. According to Casey, she had dropped her off with a nanny named Zanny. But guys, this nanny, she did not exist. And for weeks, Casey told her family different stories about Caylee's whereabouts. She claimed she was working, that Caylee was safe, and that everything was just under control. Meanwhile, Casey, she was going out. She was socializing and even entering a nightclub contest. It wasn't until July 15th, 2018, that Cindy Anthony called 911. In the call, Caylee's mother reported two alarming things. She said that her granddaughter had been missing for 31 days, and there was a strong smell coming from Casey's car that she believed could be a dead body. And this call, it launched a full-scale investigation. When police began questioning Casey, her story quickly fell apart. She led detectives to her supposed workplace, but it turned out that she has not worked there in years. She even pointed out random locations, trying to maintain her story. Eventually, she had to admit that she had lied. But she still insisted that Caylee had been kidnapped. And this, investigators found troubling evidence. The trunk of Casey's car had a strong odor consistent with decomposition. The hair strand found in the trunk showed signs of decomposition as well, and internet searches on the family computer included terms related to chloroform. After all this evidence was found, Casey was arrested in July 28th. And in December 2008, months after Caylee disappeared, her remains were found in a wooded area not far from where Casey's parents lived. The discovery, it was absolutely devastating. Investigators found skeletal remains, and along with that, they found duct tape near the skull, a blanket that matched one from Casey's home. After all this discovery, the case now started to shift from a missing child investigation to a homicide. The public was outraged. Prosecutors argued that Caylee Anthony intentionally killed her daughter. Their theory included that she used the chloroform that she had to render Caylee unconscious, and then she suffocated her using the duct tape to wrap around her face, and then she just took her body and disposed of it. They pointed to Casey's behavior after Caylee's disappearance as key evidence. Instead of reporting her daughter missing, Casey, she actually continued her daily life, going out, getting a tattoo that read Bella Vita, which means beautiful life. She was doing all these things while her daughter was still missing. To prosecutors, this showed a lack of concern and possibly guilt. Casey's defense team presented a very different version of the events. They claimed that Caylee had accidentally drowned in a family pool. And according to the defense, Casey, she just panicked. And her father, George, he actually helped her to cover it up. And this is what they were claiming. They also argued that Casey's history of lying came from a dysfunctional family environment. And the defense, they worked to create reasonable doubt, challenging the prosecutor's evidence at every step of the way. And in July 2011, after a highly publicized trial, The jury, they finally reached its verdict. Casey was found not guilty. Not guilty of first-degree murder. Not guilty of manslaughter. She was found not guilty of aggravated child abuse. She was found guilty only of lying to law enforcement. The verdict, it shocked the nation. Many believe justice had not been served. The case of Caylee Anthony remains one of the most controversial trials in American history, guys. To this day, people still debate what really happened to Caylee Anthony. Was it murder or was it just a tragic accident covered up by fear? And how did a case with so much attention and then so much uncertainty? It's unbelievable. Caylee Anthony has been labeled as the worst mother in American history. And I totally agree. I just don't see how she was ever found not guilty. But anyway, guys, this is the end of the story. And if you want more real life cases like this, remember to subscribe and stay tuned for the next story. I'll see you next week.